The mouth or oral cavity is also known as the buccal cavity, and it includes the buccinator muscle, which is located along your cheeks and aids in blowing out your cheeks, as you may do in playing a bugle. The oral cavity is a small area on sagittal sections. It's often mistaken for the larger opening of the nasal cavity, and the tongue muscle extends to the top, highlighting the oral cavity's very limited size. The mouth serves several functions, including sensory analysis, mechanical digestion, lubrication, and the start of chemical digestion. Sensory analysis helps us identify characteristics of food, like how wet it is, how dry it is, if it's a tough steak, and that information is sent to your brain, which then prepares the stomach and other organs involved. Mechanical digestion is the process of breaking down food physically, like chewing it and tearing it, but not chemically, which is what is done with enzymes. Mechanical digestion in the mouth involves tearing and cutting food using your teeth and your tongue. Mastication is the word for the process of chewing food, to masticate, to chew. You may recall that the big muscle in your cheeks that causes chewing is called the masseter. Saliva lubricates the food, which is now compacted into a ball called a bolus. And saliva lubricates that bolus, preventing dryness during swallowing. Chemical digestion is the breakdown of substances via enzymes, acids, or any other chemical agents. This is very different than mechanical digestion because we're tearing apart atoms and molecules here in chemical digestion, not proteins and fats. There are enzymes in saliva, such as amylase, that break down carbohydrates, or lipase, that breaks down fats. These enzymes are accustomed to the pH that's typical of saliva, about 5 or 6 on the pH scale. When these enzymes get swallowed along with the bolus and enter into the stomach, they stop working. The pH of 1 or 2 that the stomach has is not the preferred conditions for the enzymes in your saliva. There are other enzymes that take over in that low pH of the stomach, and those are discussed in another mini lecture. The mouth is lined with stratified squamous epithelial cells, which are keratinized for waterproofing. And this is continuous and similar to the epidermis of the skin. Eating can cause the loss of some of these cells due to abrasion, but it's not an issue because the cells are stratified, ensuring layers of protection. You can lose some of those and it doesn't matter. As with all epithelia, there is a connective tissue beneath it. And here, it looks like this submucosa is on the spectrum between areolar loose connective tissue and dense irregular connective tissue. The palate separates the oral and nasal cavities, preventing food from entering the nasal cavity during eating. The palate's an extension of the maxilla, the upper jawbone, and there's also like a flap of keratinized tissue. Cleft palates are conditions where the palate, hard or soft, is not a complete structure, and it allows food exchange from the oral cavity into the nasal cavity. Sometimes cleft palates can take multiple surgeries to complete.